Alright, hello everybody and welcome to another Top 10 video. Today's topic is about that pizza you ordered recently. Well, after someone took a slice, that is. There you go. It's Pac-Man. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 Pac-Man games ever, ranging from the classics all the way up to what's new. Just a reminder, this is my list, so don't choke on a power pellet if a game doesn't reach your expectations for what I choose. It's my opinion, after all. And with that being said, sit down and chomp away at some snacks. This is my top 10 Pac-Man games. What happens when you mix a little bit of Disney magic dust and Pac-Man? You get Pac-Man with a slightly different design and a voice. I mean a voice that actually sticks around for once. Not like the Hanna-Barbera cartoon or PacMan World 3. Pac-Man The Ghostly Adventures is a game that's based on the TV series played on Disney XD. This version of Pac-Man has two new buddies, Cylindra and Spiral. No more Ms. Pac-Man, it's all about the friends and hanging out. But one day the evil Betrayus, a new enemy in the Pac universe, is out to get power and take down the Pac people with the help of his ghost army. Pac-Man plays as you'd hope he would. He eats power pellets, and something new called power berries that power up the Pac-ster with new abilities. Using these abilities, Pac-Man will be able to continue his ghostly adventures with no problem at all. A very simple platformer with a bit of rinse and repeat, but satisfying for what it is. I recommend this game for those who are new to the platforming genre. It's a good way to ease your way in. Remember how Pac-Man got his first 3D adventure on the PlayStation 1? Well, Ms. Pac-Man needed some time to shine and show she still had it since 1981. Ms. Pac-Man took me by storm at the age of 5 years old. I swear the Dreamcast is just one of those systems that grabbed me by the shirt and said, "Hey, buy our games!" But anywho, basically you get your 2D Pac-Man-like sections but with a bit more of 3D depth to let Ms. Pac-Man travel all sorts of ways over the new mazes she goes through. And she must start from point A to point B by using new mechanics and gizmos to get her to the end of each level. Would you believe me if I said the story was about her trying to save a princess? No, not that one. Ms. Pac-Man must travel through several different world types and finish the mazes to defeat the evil witch and save the princess. I personally like this game on Dreamcast. It's also available on Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1, so if you want to try it out on those, go right ahead. It's pretty much about the exact same experience. And it's one of my favorite games on the Dreamcast, just from the music alone. This game is by no means perfect, but it's nice to sit down every so once in a while and go down memory lane. Now, how do I explain this? Anyone remember the infamous level 256 glitch in the original Pac-Man? Well, that glitch has returned, and stronger than ever. Pac-Man 256 is fairly new, and presents a whole new playing field for Pac-Man. You basically start from the bottom of the maze, and you work your way up to the top. You keep going and going and going and... Wait, this maze never ends! That's right, this is basically Pac-Man Survival, where you see how long you can last until either a ghost gets you, or the glitch consumes your soul. You'll be earning new powers and upgrading them to help you get through mazes easier, and give you higher scores to beat your past records. There's a lot of new features too since launch, like how on some versions of the game, preferably console, you can play up to 4 players at a time. You can even change the skins of who you play as, like a chicken. And you can change how the mazes look as you go through them. That way nothing looks the same all the time. Gets boring, right? Well, swap it out with a Crossy Road skin and you're good to go. If you like a game that presents challenge, but at the same time simple pacing, go for this one. It's pretty relaxing and intense based on how you feel you should play the game. Classic Pac-Man is fun and all, but I need a little bit of spice in my Pac mazes to get me going. Extra speed, some new moves, crazy looking mazes, oh yeah, like that. Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 is the sequel to the hit game Pac-Man Championship. Just like that game, you're going to get the Pac back with super fast gameplay, tons of new challenges, and many ways to spruce up your Pac-Man experience. This game allows you to pick from several different maze varieties, along with some new ways to display your game. with some new tunes to change up your groove as you zoom past lines of pack dots and gather some fruit. And now with an all new boss mode, where you can go up against a super huge ghost. This game is going to give you a challenge whether you like it or not. Better have fast reflexes, cause this game doesn't always hold your hand. You have to know your way around these mazes as they change, or it's pack chowder for the ghosts. One of my absolute favorite parts about this game is eating a power pellet and eating a ghost. Did I say ghost? I mean ghosts. You can go through a whole string of ghosts, racking up crazy combos to add to your score. This is by far one of the craziest Pac-Man games out there. Highly recommend giving this game a try if you want a Pac-Man game that can pump up your jam and get you to slam. Pac-Man was always so used to the 2D life growing up in his day, but for his 20th anniversary, he got a whole new way of chomping at ghosts. PacMan World, his first ever 3D platformer that came in the late 90s, because everyone at that time was getting a platformer, so why couldn't Pac-Man? The game starts off with all of Pac-Man's friends being captured, and then he finds out someone ate his cake. Oh, heck no! It's time to go, Pac-Man! Pac-Man has crossed the line, and... oh, right, where are my manners? Pac-Man sets out on his new adventure, collecting pieces of fruit to unlock ways throughout all the several worlds, so he can work his way to Pac-Man and show him who's boss. Mr. Pac-Man also has some new moves, like the Rev Roll to get up steep hills, and the new Butt Bounce move, where you can bash on enemies and hit switches to progress even further. Classic Pac-Man mazes make a return as well, which is nice for the old school fans. This game is only on the PlayStation 1, so it's understandable if not many grew up with this one, but if it's possible to give this game a try, I highly recommend it. It's not all that expensive to search out for either. The game's also on Game Boy Advance, but I can't necessarily recommend that version because it's a little different compared to the original. But for Pac-Man's 20th anniversary, I'd say this game was a success. Happy birthday, Pac-Man! Wait, I'm 18 years late. Dang, Pac-Man's 37 years old? Holy cow, time flies! Now, what happens when you take Pac-Man and you make it 1,000 times more colorful and it pops right out at you? If you answered a new arrangement, then congratulations, you're the winner! PacMan Arrangement is basically a remake of the classic Pac-Man we all know and love, but with some extra goodies for that goodie bag that this game has for you. Who doesn't like goodie bags? They got goodies. Know what I'm saying? No. The color and feel of this game alone sets an amazing feel when you play through all the courses and go chomping away at those ghosts again. One of my favorite parts of this game are the dash pads, where if you use one to dash through a course of pack dots, and a ghost hops in front of you during one of these dashes, they can't hurt you. You basically run circles around them and they get all dizzy, and I love the little gameplay details like that. Makes for a great new experience. It's a very short game, but a very nice one to sit down and complete every now and then. Highly recommend picking up Pac-Man Museum on Xbox 360, PS3, or Steam to try out this version of the game. There was a PlayStation 2 and Game Boy Advance version of this game, and those versions are good too and all, but I like this one a whole lot more. For years, I'm sure tons of people always wanted to go head-to-head with their friends in a Pac-Man Battle Royale. And that's when the Bandai Namco was like, here you guys go, fight against each other. It'll amuse us. And we were all like, okay, sure. Pac-Man Battle Royale is a super fun arcade game where you go against 1, 2, or even 3 of your friends and go head-to-head to see who can knock each other out and claim victory as Pac King or Pac Queen. You have the ability to either knock them into a ghost or survive long enough to see if they get eaten first. And with more players, it gets way more intense going throughout the mazes and trying to survive. This is the type of game that would be great at parties, but if you want to play this game, you have to either buy it on PS3, Xbox 360, or Steam, and have 4 controllers, so keep that in mind. It can also be played in its original form at the arcade, like your Dave & Buster's and whatnot. That's the best way to play in my opinion, makes for a good night out on the town. Highly recommend giving this game a shot if you can have at least one person play with you. It's super fun and exciting. Man, Pac-Man sure is fun, but this gets kinda boring after so many levels. I wish there was like a new look to the game. Have no fear, Pac-Man's wife is here. Miss Pac-Man basically takes what made the original game oh so good and improves on it. At least in my eyes it does. It gives new colors and variety of mazes for the player. That way it changes things up and keeps you on your toes. Just the simple fact that these mazes change colors nourish my eyes. That's right guys, my eyes eat. And with the fact that there's a variety of mazes now, that means you can't get comfy. It's going to keep you on your toes at all times. Now a change of color may not seem like a big deal to most, but the reason why I liked this game was for the fact it changed its colors for so many levels. In the original Pac-Man, the mazes always stayed the same, which are fine, but I like variety. And this game delivers on that. You also get more cutscenes in this game like you had with the original Pac-Man, and these are especially my favorites. You even get to see Pac-Man Jr. be delivered by the stork. Ain't that just adorable? Ms. Pac-Man is one of my all-time favorite arcade machines. Anytime I find one, I always put in a quarter or two and have a go at it. Pac-Man had a pretty good 20th birthday. Well, not really. But his game was pretty awesome. How can it get any better? Well, I'll tell you how. Add a 2 at the end of the original title and bam! You got yourself a brand new adventure with a whole lot more Pac business to take care of. That's right, I'm talking about PacMan World 2. Now this game is probably the most popular in the PacMan World series, given this game was multi-platform rather than just on one system. The Pac people are in danger once more, because the nasty ghosts Blinky, Inky, Pinky, and Clyde were up to no good again. Stealing the golden fruit, and releasing the spell holding the evil Spooky from his slumber, there's a whole lot of new trouble heading into Pacville. Now it's up to Pac-Man one more time to take down the evil baddie and restore peace to Pac-Land. Now, how is he gonna do that? I don't know. Nah, just kidding. Pac-Man rushes through many of levels and environments, with returning moves like the Rev Roll and the Butt Bounce. It's about the same as the first game, but now he has a bigger playground to try out these moves on. Jumping around from the high parts of the wood tops, all the way down icy slopes, climbing through the hot volcanoes, Pac-Man has to do it all, and it's not going to be easy. Each world has a boss, some harder than others. They present pretty good challenge and require a decent amount of skill. So be on the lookout for the Ghost Squad, guys! Pac-Man World 2 is one of my all-time favorite platformers ever, and I highly recommend giving this game a try if you own a PlayStation 2, Nintendo GameCube, or even an Xbox. I mean the Xbox One. No, not that one, the original Xbox. What? Pac-Man World 2 isn't number 1 on the list? Yeah, it isn't. It's Pac-Man Championship Edition DX Plus Turbo 2 and Knuckles. But no, seriously, Pac-Man Championship Edition DX Plus is what I consider one of the best video games ever made. It basically took what made Pac-Man great and made it even better. Sure, there was Championship Edition 2, and I love that game to bits. But there's just a certain appeal to the original. Well, original DX Plus, that is. The regular Pac-Man Championship Edition was okay. Not as good in my opinion, but decent to say the least. This version of Pac-Man lets you go around at high speeds collecting Pac dots and fruit until either the timer runs out or you run out of lives. There's plenty of modes and mazes you can play on, and the background music you choose is always funky and fresh. The beats of music always help me get in the mood to rip up those Pac mazes and collect as much as I can. There's not a whole lot I could say that's different about this game compared to Championship Edition 2, because that game technically has more features. But I don't know, the game just holds up better in my opinion. Remember when I said I liked chomping through a string of ghosts and getting wicked combos? Well, I just feel like this game kinda did that better. Might seem like a strange reason to rank Championship Edition 2 at 6 and Championship Edition DX Plus at 1, it being such a wide gap and all. But I honestly think that reason along with small details alone make it rank that much higher. I don't know, I just like this game's style a bit better. I love the original Pac-Man, and sorry it wasn't on my list, but I just feel like Pac-Man Championship Edition DX Plus takes the cake for the true, fun, fast, and definitive way of playing Pac-Man. All the Pac-Man games hold a special place in my gamer heart, but guys, Pac-Man Championship Edition DX Plus is my favorite Pac-Man game of all time, and I'm proud of it for being such an amazing game. That's it for this top 10 video. Be sure to hit that like button and leave a nice comment. What other top 10s would you guys like to see? Also be sure to subscribe for more top 10s. I do mostly Let's Plays, so keep that in mind, but I love making these from time to time. and be sure to check out my other Pac-Man content. Until then, see you guys next time!